All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Catalyst webinar series. My name is Blake Jurgis, the Director of Player Development at Coda Casa, and I'm the SCPGA Education Chair and current board member. Today's Catalyst is proudly brought to you by our presenting partner, DRS Digital Revenue Systems, helping facilities elevate their member experience through premium digital signage designed for golf, fitness, and wellness environments. To learn more, visit digitalrevsystems.com. We got a great presentation in store for everyone here today. My friend Chris Nassil, he's going to be just a great load of information in regarding to business and golf, and just so excited to hear him. Chris is actually a business coach and who helps academies, indoor facilities, coaches increasing revenue while creating more time and freedom through proven business and coaching systems. On this call, we've got a ton of people, and I'm just so excited for everyone to be listening. I know I see some general managers and some directors of golf, head pros, assistants, teachers, just all of the professions in our industry. And Chris's information is going to apply for everyone here, whether if you're a general manager and how it can help out maybe the golf pros underneath at the club, or even assistants wanting to get into teaching, or even full-time teachers just grinding on the range. This information is going to be provided for you, and just so excited for this conversation. And if anybody has any questions, please type it in the Q&A box down below. We would love to. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll kind of interrupt Chris in between then. But without further ado, Chris, welcome to the Catalyst series, and take it away.
Chris, Blake, thanks for the introduction. My name is Ty Gosnell. I'm a PGA member, and I'm in the Carolina section. I have had my business since 2015, running academies, have 5 coaches working underneath me. And in the past 6 months, I met Chris through the Decade Golf. And since then, I've started working with him. I've increased my revenue by about 69%. I've cut 80% of my non-essential work, and I deliver better client relationships just because I'm working with less people each day, and I get to know them, get to know their families. And so before we get started and I turn it over to Chris, I just wanted to kind of give you all a chance to understand what he brings and what he offers. So Chris, without further ado, take it away.
Thanks, buddy. Hello, everybody. Welcome here. I'll jump right into it. And like Blake said, if you have any questions, just pop it in the chat. And after the presentation of sorts, we'll have a Q&A. You can ask whatever you want. Nothing's off the table, regardless of where you work. Is that okay, Blake? Do you see the presentation slides and stuff?
Yeah, everything is good. And by the way, if everybody know, like Chris is very far away on the other side of the world, it seems like. Chris, why don't you share a little bit more about the background a little bit?
Sure. I live in the north of Sweden. And for those who are keeping score, it's -20 Fahrenheit as of now. So if I have look like I have a lot of layers on, it's because I have. But I was in Marbella last week coaching golf, so it's I'm okay. So cool. So the point of this lecture of sorts is for me to try to provide as much value as I can. And the frame of it is business as a sport, because it's the biggest reason people aren't succeeding in business is because they're not treating it as a sport. You treat your golfers and the professionals, their golf game is their sport, and they treat it like a business. That's why they succeed. And why most coaches, academies, and clubs aren't making the money they should or that they could is because they aren't treating it as such. So that's the frame for today. So I coach 3 things. I coach how to make a lot more money, how to create more time freedom, and how golfers can shoot lower scores. So today it will be mostly of the majority of the first 2, and you can ask any question you want. And short background story, I like Blake so kindly said, I do this for a living now, which I'm very thankful for. I come from the restaurant world and the sales world and run a big department store, and I got into golf on a happenstance. So today I coach golfers in academies around the world how to do those things. So the frame for today is I will talk to all of you as if my life depended on you making more money faster, and I only had this chance to do it. I will ask you to keep an open mind. We'll speak about things that I know to be true because we've done it, and I apologize in advance for my maybe bluntness sometimes, and possibly and highly likely a curse word or two. It's part of being from the Nordics where I am. I can blame that. And if again, like any questions you have, just write in the chat. So first of all, why money? Well, my view on it is money makes a good person better and a bad person worse. And if more people had more money, they could help more people and do good things. So, and I want that for you. And the unique thing about golf and coaching and the golf profession is it's one of the few occupations in the world where you can double your revenue with your own force and no one's stopping you. So that's why you have one of the biggest opportunity in business, regardless if you're a GM or if you're a coach. So I believe that's why I want to bring Ty on too. In my world, words mean very little. Proof mean everything. So I thought I'd provide you with some. So these are a few of my coaches just to provide value to what this can be applicable for. So Nick is a director of instruction and he made more money in 6 months than the previous 12 combined, and now rarely works weekends anymore. And all of you can do this. I don't care where if you work in a driving range, if you work in a premium facility, indoor, it doesn't matter because we have coaches all over the world getting really good results regardless of where they are. It's just a matter of if you like this way of working, then it's possible for you. So how come some coaches win more than others in business? Well, most of you here are golfers, I'm guessing. And most of their coaches are really good golfers. Let's say you're a +2 handicap golfer. And then you became a coach. And you're probably on this call, you're probably like a plus handicap coach too. But if you aren't succeeding in business in the way you want to, you need to look at your business handicap, which is probably not where you want it to be. But if you treat it like your golf game, you need to improve. And if you can improve, looking at like a head coach more than a golf coach or a GM, that's the way that we use to make the success we have. So this is the generalist's way of looking at it, but I hope this makes sense. Most coaches I talk to have very high coaching skills, but they aren't having the life they want, most of them. That's why they come to me, because their business skills are low, which happens to result in lower revenue than they want, and it's a lesson-T grind of sorts. And some of my coaches have very low coaching skills. They're very new into golf, but they see business as their sport, and they get really high business skills, which means they make a lot more money than most, and they're more time-free than most, and they get to play golf with their clients a lot more, which is fun. So I don't know where you're at on this spectrum, regardless if you're a GM or if you're a coach, but there's a happy in-between of this. So maybe the solution to your problem isn't more coaching skills. Maybe it's business skills, or maybe it's vice versa. But knowing that more coaching skills, if you don't have the business you want, is not the solution usually. So if you want to make more money, this is the first thing I would teach you. That financial freedom, in my opinion, is being able to do what you want when you want to. And 75% of most people's costs per month for their life is residual, right? There's only two things we can guarantee, which is taxes and sometimes dying, I guess. But 95% of most people's incomes are active. So if you don't work in March, then you don't get paid, but the bills still come. So my definition of financial freedom is balancing the two. So Howard came to me with the same story. He's like, I want to get paid more than starting every January 1 at 0. So we built a system, which I will teach you today, the short version of it, on how to create more residual income. And now he has a lot of residual income coming in as it sort of takes away from the active, the residual, what's it called? Bills of sorts. So now he can choose a bit more. He doesn't start every month at 0, have to go get it, and he can take time off and he can schedule around because he has residual income. Financial freedom for me is getting rich. It's being free, and you all could. So to win in business, you need to define what the end goal is. And I categorize it in 3 ways. It's how much money do I want to make, how much time do I want to work, and how much time do I want to have for my family, and what's quality of life to me. So what I want you all to do, if you're not living the dream life that you would want, is to look at if what I'm doing today, what I will keep doing tomorrow, will that take me to the dream life I want? And if not, then you need to learn how to get there, because you could. Because if you keep doing what you're doing and everyone else is doing, and you're not winning in the way you want to, then something's got to give, you know? And business in the broad sense is good to learn, but you need to learn your business and be an expert in your way of business doing things. And every business is sort of the same. You get paid for solving problems. And If you get paid for solving small problems, it's not worth much. If you pay bigger problems, it's worth more. And for golf coaches and academies and clubs, you have two general massive client bases. One is the golfer who wants to hit the ball better. And two, it's the golfer who wants to shoot lower scores and has a goal with their golf game. The shoot lower scores golfer is the minority, but they spend more money on golf than the other group does combined from taking lessons and buying stuff, but they aren't giving the money to the coach on average because they don't have a reason to buy a score from them. So the goal to making more money as a coach and as a club is to be able to offer a way to do both. The key to it is to have a long-term way for them to do it and to getting them to play a lot more on course. I know you do this a lot, Blake, having golfers on the course a lot, and that's what they want because golf is so weird. It's the only game we practice where we don't play. So that's the main keys to it. And to attract the high-paying clients, you need to be able to sell a result. And trying to fix a scoring problem with a swing solution is almost impossible. This is not me saying it, it's the Hall of Fame coach I coach saying this. It's very difficult to get him good position on the range and have it translate to better scores on the course in the way that the customer sort of believes it will happen. So just knowing this gives you a big competitive advantage. So there's difference between, in my opinion here, difference between scoring and mental game. There's a lot of mental game in the world, which is so important and does so much good, but you need to defer from a business sense what to do first and to whom. So the scoring part is knowing where to aim and how to play golf and how to use what you have, which is simple to learn, gives you pretty fast results, which Ty can attest to. It's for everybody needs to learn, and it's where the most money is. For the better player, mental game is outrageously important. It needs to be trained the right way, though. There's a lot of mental coaches popping up everywhere saying they're a mental coach and maybe not doing the right thing properly. It's a big skill to learn. And in my opinion, from business, it's more direct to the better players. And you have one of the best mental coaches in the world in your section in Rick Sessinghouse. He's the man. I love that guy. So if you're interested in mental game excellence, then my suggestion is he's the guy to talk to. So I hope that makes sense. And why scoring first? Well, it produces this, which is the stories from our golfers around the world. George was 37, he was a 16 handicap, and he wanted to get better, but he was buying into a program that made him, the promise was, I'll help you improve your score. So they shifted from range work, which they did before, to on-course work. And in 8 months, he went from a 16 handicap to a 4. And Joseph went from a 6 handicap to plus handicap. So what happens when you start with score? It's easy for them to learn. It's easy then for them to apply tomorrow, which means they'll get better. Now they're more motivated to come back to you to learn swing, which is difficult to teach, difficult to learn, and very few practice. And they're willing to pay more for it because you've proven that you can give me the result I'm looking for. Now, this is an extreme example, but I believe in proof. So this is the top echelon of my coaches. Ken Gobin had been coaching for about a year when I met him. He lives in Japan, he's an American. And he made $5,000 a month, give or take, when I met him. And 12 months later, he makes a pretty good living. Now, this is not guaranteed. This is not the norm, but I'm just telling you this is possible. He didn't work at a club. He just started from basically nothing. No social media, no nothing. And now he's blowing up because he put in, well, more work than anyone I know. And he's really coachable to learn. But he focuses on selling results, not just swing and technique. Swing technique is very important, but it comes second to the results they want. And I'm showing you this hopefully just to inspire someone here to see, well, if he can do it, I can do it, because I believe you can. So what it takes to win is to look at the results of the clients you have. And are your clients cutting their handicap and score average by 50% on average every year? And if not, then you need to learn how to teach score. The second thing, if you're fully booked, do you then live the dream life that you have? And if not, you need to learn how to create a better offer. So the offer that you give the clients that they want to pay for will support the lifestyle that you need. And I'll teach you how. So the key to attracting high-paying clients is proof. There's a lot of good social media gurus out there. There's a lot of content being put out. But the way to attract people to you is proving that you are who you said you were, if you're interested in making more money. And the example I have, which is from personal training. So if you want to get to a personal trainer to lose weight, would you go to pay a high price for a personal trainer if their clients on average aren't losing a lot of weight? My guess is no. So if you want to attract them to you through your social media, through whatever you're doing, then proof is important. And I'm betting you have a lot of these golfers already who have amazing results. But people need to know that that's what they can buy from you. They don't care because they don't know what it means to be certified in X, Y, and Z. They don't know about the intricacies of the golf business, but they know proof. So if you have and want to attract these people, then find the clients who have the best results, ask them for testimonials, and post that. Because that's proof. Because, oh, he's like me. I want to do that. I'll go to him. So how it normally goes from coaches around the world. This may be not true for you, but for most. The lesson is booked, 30, 60 minutes. The client shows up, asks you, and you ask him, what do you want me to fix today? Well, I want to fix my slice. You give the advice, usually swing. Next person comes 5-10 minutes early, standing a couple feet away, creating a bit of an awkward moment. You're trying to offer them a package or a solution and to help them book the next one. Gets a bit stressful. Next lesson starts and your admin piles up. I know this is true for you, but it's true for most of the people I help. What people usually don't talk about, I've interviewed hundreds of golfers, and this is the average of what they experience. They book a lesson with you. They think they will play better tomorrow, even though you tell them it's difficult and they won't, but they think that's the case. They have a very hard time understanding golf because golf is very difficult. Teaching swing and learning swing is immensely difficult. So they get confused. And usually, men at least, don't tell you when they're confused. They just nod along and I got it. Send me the video afterwards, I got it, but still confused. So a confused person doesn't buy anything. So you probably had this experience when you said the right things, you did the right things, you offered them the perfect thing, but they said, I'll get back to you. It's because they're confused. And they play tomorrow, they play worse because they're trying to change the swing, and they unknowingly or knowingly blames you, and they don't come back. That's the average around the world for the standard version of this. And the life for most coaches as a result, and this is very important for the GMs in the room to know, this type of life, working back-to-back lessons on the tee, makes you very mentally tired because it's a performance sport. Every 30, 60 minutes, you have to be on your game. It's a lot of nights and weekends, which means people's families suffer. Most coaches feel underpaid and undervalued. You play very little golf with your students, so most coaches fall out of love with their golf game, which is not great. People start doing more groups, which sometimes becomes more nights and weekends, then you feel trapped in the bubble on the range. So if you're expecting more out of your coaches, this is the reality most coaches have. But it doesn't have to be this way. So the solution, to give you some practical advice, is to start by offering an assessment as an addition to selling the lessons. No assessment, no cure. Just like the doctor. The doctor doesn't prescribe the medication until he tests your blood to see what you need. What you say you need is some relevance to the doctor, but they need the proof. And the assessment part is knowing what goals do you have and what problem are you trying to solve. And then you sell the results back to them. It works like clockwork because they're now ordering from you. You're not selling stuff. And this is what the general gist of what we teach. So let's say you have a lesson that comes up, and this goes same for selling memberships and other things too. It's like, what's your hopes and expectations for our talk today? Well, I want to do this. Perfect. May I just ask you that before we get started? What's your current handicap or scoring average? Well, I'm an 18 handicap. Perfect. What would the goal be then? Well, I want to be a 9. And every coach that do this, they say the same thing to me always. Every golfer almost has the answer. They all want to cut their handicap in like half, which is a ridiculous ask to think they can do in the 30 minutes that you have. But then you ask them, do you want to do a lesson like you wanted to, or do you want to see how good of a golfer you can become? And then you have a shoot lower scores assessment. You can do this on the range, in a simulator, you can do whatever you want. But a way for them to show you how they play golf, tell you their problems, tell them the goals that they have when they're not so nervous. And then it will give you the reason they need to offer something big so they can buy the solution from you. Golfers, like most people, hate being sold to, but we love to buy things. But confusion kills both learning and sales. So only have 3 offers, not 2, not 15, only 3. And offer the highest one first. And then you turn your lessons into 9-hole playing lessons or 2-hour sessions. And I'll explain why. This way is not effective at all. Because when a person sees this, they see the cheapest one first, and then everything else becomes more expensive. This way is highly effective. It sounds stupidly simple, but it's just psychology. Now they see the most expensive thing first, and everything else gets cheaper. And people usually don't want to buy the cheapest things. But if you offer it in the way with the cheapest first, they sometimes do. If you offer with the most expensive thing first, most people buy the middle one. So on average now, just doing this, you've increased your average package sale by quite a lot, which is the first thing we teach golf coaches to do and academies and clubs to do. When you're offering packages for memberships, this is the way things are sold. I hope that makes sense. So what you can say, just to be very pragmatic, and this will be recorded, so you don't have to remember it. You can just look at the replay if you want to. This is the exact script that we use. After the lesson starts to come to a close, or the meeting, you need to give them some boost of confidence. But I think you can do this. I think you can reach your goal. Do you want my help? And then say nothing. If you speak first, confusion sets in. Now they're gone. So you're quiet. And then they answer something. And you answer, well, I have 3 options to start. My suggestion to get the fastest result is the 10-lesson package. But which option would fit you the best? Then say nothing. Which means they most likely buy something. Because if you speak first, then disaster happens usually. If you stay quiet, even though it's uncomfortable, it gives them time to process and gives them a reason to answer. So if you have the packages and the biggest first, the cheapest last, and you say these things, a few of my coaches have increased their sales immensely by just doing this. Level 2 to this is how to fix the residual income problem, which is subscriptions. So when the package is over, or when they bought something from you, you do a reassessment, either verbally or practically. You ask them, okay, we're here now. What is the goal now? Well, perfect. I want to do this. So if it's a scoring goal or a handicap goal, you can say, well, you can be part of my personal coaching program to reach the dream that you have. It's either 4 times a month, twice a month, or once a month. You pay on subscription on credit card, so it's auto pay. It doesn't carry over, but now you have a slot in my calendar. And this gives me the ability to give you a long-term plan to get to your goal. And every session is at least 2 hours. And people on average, and Ty can attest to this, and most coaches, they're like, sure, that sounds great. You can cancel whenever you want. But now you don't have a half an hour here, a hole for half an hour, or an hour there and then 2 hours off and then an hour again. You have less clients paying you more or the same, but you have fewer clients during the day, which makes your day a lot better and your coaching a lot better and the experience is higher. The results of this is golfers get a higher golf IQ. Your value as a coach or as a club goes up because they now understand that your depth of skill is what it is. You'll sell way more, they'll empty way out way more, you have less clients, and the lower scores way faster. And just a shameless plug for business as your sport. In my opinion, it's the best sport in the world because it doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care how you look, doesn't care how old you are, or what you've done. It only cares about how much value you bring to others. And the reward is unreal, not just financially, but you as a person. It's the game that can't be winnable, just like golf. You can only get better and more frustrated. But it's the game you can play forever. Not working harder, not working more, but just sharpening your axe to get better. So you need to decide what problem you want to solve. Do you want to be a generalist, like the general doctor, making an okay living? Or do you want to be a specialist, which the brain surgeon is? And for you to stand out, my suggestion would be to also offer score, because that very few do. And the ones that do tend to succeed more. And give golfers hope and sell the results. That's sort of the sweet spot of this. Just tell them they can do it and then help them do it. So the next step I would give to you as a quest is business is your new sport, regardless where you work and how you work. Track where the money comes from. and track your expenses, like how much residual output do I have? How do my clients pay? And then invest in business skills and scoring skills. Just learn how to do this. And this goes for the general managers too. You need to know what your clients are looking to purchase and what's worth something or not. Because that's what they're coming there for. They will love your club even more, which means your membership dues can go up. If you can offer this in context to other clubs, it's a service that will be provided that others aren't. And it attracts the high-paying clients that are looking to buy this. And for things to change, well, things have to change. And you're going to put in the hours regardless. We all are. You might as well just give it a go, try to become financially free. And if you hate the money, then give it away. But you could, and it's a lot of fun. So I implore you to do so. So I have a free gift for everybody. We have a coaching community that's a part of that's free, which what I talked about now in more in depth. On the business of golf coaching, the assessment and the offer and the subscription, it's all free. And then we have other things that are paid, but the free thing you can just have a look at, cancel whenever you want, cost you nothing. A part of the free thing in our community is I do a bunch of interviews. I've done one with Ty too, where for 30 minutes he tells his story in detail on what he charges, how he charged, what he started, how he did, what didn't work for a bunch of our coaches. And I want to give this to all of you and to the golfer now because we have proof now that it works. And I want to be able to grow the game and not just say I do, it just really do. So if you want to, just go into the Golf Accelerator. We're rebranding it to Golf Business Accelerator. But if you click that link or if you copy in that link to the internet, you will get access to it. And we post weekly videos on different business stuff, content, and you'll have access to that too. So last thing I'd say is I believe in all of you. You can do so much more for yourself and for your business than you probably think. Because if my coaches all over the world can do it, and I have a bunch of academy owners and general managers around the world too, I help, and their business are improving rapidly because they chose business as their sport. And I would implore you for 2026, if you want to reach more and higher goals that you have, then choose business. You don't have to have my help. Just internet is fantastic, but choose your profession as a sport. Listen to people who have the results that you want, because advice is free, right? And it's the biggest mistake I've ever made, is listening to people who are experienced but not competent. Does this people mean well? People are very kind usually. But does this person giving me advice have the life I want? Do they have the proof of the thing that I want? And if not, then take it with a grain of salt. And if you don't have the people around you that have the success you're looking for, then go look for them. They're out there. People that just don't dare to ask. Like if you want to run really successful group programs, well, Blake's the man. Like ask him, because he has the proof what he's doing. And if you want to run a great mental game specialist, then Rick is in your section. Find people with the proof of the thing you want. And then just go ask him and see what they want to have you pay for them to help you. But go look for it, because they won't find you otherwise. I hope I kept that short enough and didn't speak too fast in my broken English.
No, you are good, Chris. That was awesome and great discussion, great conversation, and being able to know that I think as golf professionals, I think we're servant mentality. We are passionate about helping others, that sometimes we lose focus of the business aspect of it. And I think that we want to just continue to give back to the game that we love. However, we still have families in life, and making sure that is a part of the systems in place. I think that's obviously important. I think that we ignore a lot of that. Honestly, I think it's kind of overwhelming sometimes for some people, maybe on this call. I know that when I first started, and it was definitely overwhelming and making very, very little income to keep on increasing over the years. But it's through education and through systems like you've been saying to yourself. I want to kind of ask a question, and by the way, if anybody has any questions here, please feel free to put in the Q&A box. And a question I have, Chris, is, say for instance you're working with just an assistant professional, and they're in the pro shop, and say maybe they're giving those like one-off lessons here and there. They might be just kind of like maybe 3 hours to 5 hours a week of coaching, maybe. Maybe
Sure.
it's what could you say to those assistants that want to get more clientele and to kind of start that process, and then obviously work into um, more of that business aspect of it. But kind of want to hear your thoughts on that.
Sure. It's again deciding what problem you're trying to solve without competing with your colleagues. So if you're an assistant professional and you have a head professional or you have the director of instruction who's a really good swing instructor, then they're your biggest asset. But don't try to compete. Solve a different problem. And the biggest problem I would do as an assistant professional is understand that if I know the problem the client wants, I can be the one providing the solution, but it just doesn't have to be just me. So if you're deciding to fix a problem as an assistant professional trying to grow into the game, I would master the assessment. Because then you have the demand from the client. Like, okay, you're here, John. Fantastic. Like, what's your dream life from your golf game? Well, I want to become a 9 handicap. Perfect. Golf is 3 things. It's swing and technique, it's equipment, and how to shoot lower scores. Swing and technique, it's really important. We have a really good swing coach. We can start and I can package them in depending on what you need. Equipment, we have that too. Shoot lower scores, I got you. But let's do an assessment first to see what you need. And I'll give you a plan and get really good at creating an offer that serves the club. That's one thing. The second thing that everybody should do who has a boss is to ask them the question that no one gets asked. Hey, dear general manager, or hey, dear my boss, if I can help you and the facility solve a problem or reach a goal, what would that be? And I've had hundreds of people in my employ. No one's asked that, which means you don't know what they're valuing for you for. You think you're doing really good work, but maybe they don't value that as much. But maybe they tell you, well, funny you should ask, we would love this. Cool. So if I could help you solve it, will you be able to help me do it? Sure. But if you don't have that conversation, that's a big disparity from golf coach feeling overwhelmed because you feel you're doing so much good work, which you are, but the management maybe don't value that because they don't know that that's what they need, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome, and I agree completely. I love the idea of asking that question to the manager, and I know we have like at my club we have a team of about 7 or 8 PGA members and associates of the club, and the conversations are always coming up of getting better, or what, or maybe just what's next steps and how we can continue to grow. And I think as our professionals are getting more familiar with the industries, I think the results program I think is the idea that people kind of miss a lot. And I think the education side of things is you're right. The technique is a part of the process. We definitely need as PG professionals. I think everybody knows about the techniques and systems in place. I think that is obviously an easy one that we kind of can learn about because I think we all are golf nuts in some certain ways. Then it's obviously the clubs that you talked about too. It's like, okay, partner up with your manufacturer, make sure that every one of your students is playing with right fit equipment at all times. And the scoring aspect of it too, right? It's like getting on the golf course, learning how to score, and it's not just the technique's not a part of that process. It's like how to get the ball in the hole faster and shoot lower scores. So I think knowing those keys are important for development. I think it's also think about from a management side of things too, is that if you're a head pro or general manager, is that you want your coaches to be supporting your business as well. Think about like if you're selling clubs, like how many people are teachers interacting with at your facilities on a daily basis. Think of it, they're playing with wrong fit wedges or a driver or whatever maybe, and there's new equipment coming out. It's like these professionals, our professionals can be assets to you and your business so that you guys can look even better than you guys already are.
Yeah, I have a cool story that makes sense. One of my first coaches, Julie in Sweden, she just graduated the PGA program, knew nothing. I told her to ask her boss this question, and he's like, "Yeah, we'd love to sell more equipment. That would be great." And she's like, "Okay, so if I sell a lot more, can I have a commission structure that will incentivize me to do more?" He's like, "Yeah, no problem. Just hit these ceilings, and we'll help you because you help us. You have no cost. You just sell it, give the customer to us. Everyone's happy." She sold 170% more equipment next year. And now the general manager is like, "You are the best person ever. You want to just," and she asked the question again, like, "What else can I help you solve?" "Well, we want to sell more membership and sponsorship packages." "Cool. If I sell those, Would you give me a little bit of commission for doing it? They're like, yeah, no problem. So the coach is actually the best salesperson in the world for the facility if you just give them the ability to and incentivize them to do so. Because they have the relationship more than anybody else at the club with the clients, and especially the high ticket ones. They have no problem spending the money. They just need a reason to. And that will give you the club then a person who's like, well, my golf coach really took care of me. I didn't know you did this.
Yeah, it's the relationship aspect of it, right? It's the idea that the golf professionals are, again, so servant minded that we try to take care of as many people as we can.
Mm.
Um, and I agree completely. It's like if you just ask these questions to your managers, to your bosses, to just understand what everyone's looking for exactly. Like, do you want to build more coaching revenue? Do you want to sell more equipment or sell more clothes in the pro shop? Do you need more memberships? Right. I think at my facility right now, I think we're above 30 memberships have now come through our player development programs. It's like we've seen that progression come through, and we ask these questions to our managers. I think that's obviously super key here. And Chris, another question I have, um,
Sure.
it's like
Go for it.
what if it's like the marketing side of things too? Like
Mhm.
if I'm looking to market myself to build more students and get more student clientele, like what could I do to what maybe little strategies that you have for marketing?
Sure. Sure. For a golf coach?
Yeah, for a golf coach, I'd say to get those
Yeah,
lessons, but like, hey, I'm kind of newer,
sure.
but I want to. Is it creating those flyers? Is it creating emails? Is it like getting a database? Like, what does that look like exactly?
Sure. So the first thing is proof over everything. People don't know, and not to be step on any toes, but people don't barely know what the PGA is. They barely know they don't know all the things that we know. They just know, can you help me hit the ball better? Can we help me shoot lower scores? That needs to be the front and center of your Instagram page or your marketing page. The second thing is to have proof from golfers you have achieved this with. And if you haven't, then the gateway is always is to train with people, offer them for free, pick people who are ambitious enough, say you're trying something new to help them shoot lower scores, then help them for the love of Christ, everything you can, get the results from them, and then ask if it's okay, can I just have your testimonial on my Instagram page? And almost no one says no because you've been so kind to them in the spare time you have. And then I'm looking for more clients. Do you know anybody? So if this was good for you, people tend to recommend. So posting a ton on social media of swing instruction, it's very difficult because it's so saturated, and Ty is nodding his head. It's everyone teaches the same things, so you don't stick out anything. You will get lost in the blurb of things. And you're competing with the Mark Blackburns of the world, which is a difficult place to be competitive in. So that's one. Two, it's a people to people business. People buy from people they like, and you like people who care about you. So as you're walking around the pro shop, as you walk in the range, talk to people and ask them the question: if I can help you solve a problem, reach your goal with your golf game, what would that be? Well, funny you should ask. I do with assessments over here. We can do one if you want to. I have a slot open. I'm new at this, so I can do it for a reduced fee or free, or whatever, just to try it out. And as people but then you sell them on the program. And that's the way it works. More email marketing and all that stuff. It's social media. It's not on your control without a disproportionate amount of effort. But this anyone can do. And today, with everything going AI and digital, which is very good tools, people are longing for a person to care about them. So be a person, ask them, because then you don't have to guess. Then it's just a matter of numbers. If I do this for a while, I'll get better, get results. People will like me more because they see me as a person who cares. And then clients want to pay for it. That's the simplest way to do it. That's sort of guaranteed to work if you're willing to do it.
Yeah, and I think the keys that I got there too were I think when I first started, I did the same thing. But like you're right, it's like the relationship building is you're in the pro shop, you're talking to so many people. It's like, hey, I'm trying something new. Like I'd love to kind of see it for assessment, and I'll do it for free. Like I don't even care honestly. Like I just want to see you. And the more we kind of get in that free world is to start off with, and then it starts building this repertoire. And then the thing you ask next is, hey, I want to get this program going on, and here's what I'm thinking about. right? We go through this, like whether it's a 8 week program or a 12 week program or 16, whatever the program is, or and then ask for that testimonial, which is obviously even with your success, it's like, hey, get the testimonial and make sure that everyone knows about those testimonials. And then the third thing is asking for the friends or hey, do you
Referrals.
know
Yeah, yeah.
referrals? Do you know anybody that would want that golf coaching? Do you want those experiences? Hey, I got one friend, two friends, whatever it is. And I think in the adult world, I think people are really well connected. I think ladies are actually even more connected, right? I think people talk. And also I think with families, if anybody on this call is doing a junior program, it's like get their friends out there for free, get them for a trial session, get them um, at the club and just to get it started and get the ball rolling. And then when they can sell that program, sell that process. And that's where you can get those numbers a little bigger, maybe your junior program, maybe even more for your coaching,
Yeah. And same
at
thing
your
for
academy.
for the business side of things, for the GMs of the world too. It's the golf coach could be your biggest asset. And in your partnership programs or your sponsorship programs, your membership dues, if you include an assessment with their golf coach and then give them a way to buy that through their membership or their partner fees, well, now they're willing to pay enormous amounts of money and thank the club for it because no one does that. And that's what a bunch of my clubs do now. And they're like, yeah, people buy way more, way faster because they get to buy the happiness from the coach, which they're looking for. And it was included, which is nice, So it's the same.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I'm going to take that to the general manager tomorrow, maybe today
Yeah.
actually, and just let them know about that.
Yeah. And last thing I'd say,
Uh,
just for the managers of sorts, the one thing that's missing from all the managers I talk about is the golf coach is very, very good usually, and the academy owner now that running their business, but they don't really understand yours. So you need to help them understand your business, how your business function, what you measure, and what's valuable to you, and then see, could we cross sell something? If you help me do this, I can help you do this. How can we work together to help us succeed the goals we have? And ask them the question back. If we as the club could help you as the pro or the academy or the assistant, if we could help you solve a problem or reach a goal with your life, what would that be? I'm not saying we can, but I need to know so we can work together as a team. So you as the GM need to be the head coach for the leaders of your staff and make sure they're head coaches not only for business but for their life. Because if people feel they can win in life through you, they'll stay and they'll work harder and they'll do a better job because they now have a person that they see cares about them. And people are missing people who care about them.
Awesome. Well, this is great stuff, and just so excited. I feel very passionate about this area, of education, and just given I think the tools in place for our PGA professionals. And if anybody member on this call, like there's a community page. Look at the website below for Chris's information. If you need support, he's your guy. And
Thank you.
is there anything else that you guys have to say before we head out of here?
Ty, do you want to say something?
No, I just wanted to go back to the assistants. If when I was starting, one of the things I did was I'd go talk to the director of instruction. And for me, like any new coach that comes on, I make them very good at assessments. It's the first thing that they get to do. And they get to watch me do it a few times, and then it's on them. And then they learn how to sell that for you. And if you're super busy, it's a really good way for new beginners. Like you see the assessment comes through and it's like, do I want this student or not? If I don't, like, here's something for you to do. And that's how I started to build my business, was like when that director was full, I got to pick up whatever was left. And that's how I kind of busted into my job. So
Yeah. And last thing I'd say
Yeah, I
is
love that.
this thank you for taking the time. And I do this for a bunch of PGA sections in countries around the world. And you don't know how lucky you are that you're part of the Southern California one, because the level of the way that Blake and the people care about you and what you have the access to for basically nothing. But take advantage of it. And the same for you as a coach. If you want more from your section, then ask them the same question I told you to ask. Like, if I could help you solve a problem with your goal, what would that be? And maybe you can't, maybe they can't. But if you raise your hand and show your ambition, doors will open up. And it's about giving before you can receive. But thank you again, Blake, for inviting me here. I had a blast. So I hope it was valuable and I didn't talk too fast or ramble on in my semi-English Swedish in the cold here. But thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're all good. It's cold here in Southern California as well. It's a high of 55, and maybe a touch of rain. Nothing like that, minus 20. But hey, everybody, thank you again for jumping on the Catalyst series, and come back in 2 weeks. We got some more great speakers coming in, and just so excited for the future of what our education looks like. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Ty. Thanks for all the time, and appreciate everyone joining in. And everyone have a great rest of your Monday or Thursday.
Thanks,
Sorry,
Blake.
Thursday. Should know
Thursday.
that. Thursday. I feel like it's Monday. All right, guys. Have a
Right.
good rest of the day.
Take care,
You too.
everybody.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Thank you.